So as we say, this is a misty river. It's actually in Stockport, where I originally come from, down Woodbank area. And you can see the finished picture. You've got that benefit over me. What I intend to do is we're going to have the foreground here with nice grasses and maybe a couple of bushes, different colours and textures. And the actual sky, we'll just show a little bit of the sky up in this area. And the river itself will probably start around about there and wind its way into the distance. And we'll have a bank on the river, we'll have a little meadow maybe around that area, and then the distant trees. So that's my plan. If it works out, excellent. If it doesn't, nothing lost. So first job, get some clean water on my plate, and the first colour we're going to use, just to get the idea of what we're doing, is raw sienna. The reason I'm using this first is because if I put it on nice and light, we can paint basically any colour over the top. One thing I forgot to tell you, I've got a handful of kitchen towel ready to go as well. So let's make a nice light wash of raw sienna, basically to draw with. And we're going to draw, everything we do in this course is with the HAKE brush. So everything I do, I've got to just think to myself, can we do it with a HAKE? So starting about a third of the way up the page and going along to just about past halfway and then up a little bit, and that'll be our river bank. And then I'll just block that in to be the actual bank of the river, and then the distant trees and the sky area will be probably there, and then the bank in the foreground will be around about there. So that's basically the shape of the picture, the composition if you like. I've done live demos, as I say, all over the UK, and this was like a standard picture that I do a live demo of, you know. So the idea of doing something that you're comfortable with as a live demo is so obviously people have showed up to watch you paint in a live demo. They don't want to see a load of rubbish at the end. Okay, now then, the next job we'll do is put out some Payne's grey, just a little bit, we don't need much. And Payne's grey is a nice colour because it's got little bits of blue in it. And what I'm going to do now with clean water, now I know where I'm painting, I'm just going to wet the page down to the top of the river bank. So this is just pure clean water, and this will wash that, you know, what we've just done with the raw sienna, that'll mix in with this and make it a nice undercoat if you like. But I know that that's the area I want to work to. Okay, so we know that the distant trees are going to be around here. So I'll make a nice little light wash of Payne's grey, and I'm going to use this for the distant trees because, like I say, we want it to be like a misty effect. So while while the paper there is still damp, I'm going to let that just sink in a little bit more. Move my page a little bit just to get it even. So while that paper now is damp, I'm going to drop this Payne's grey in roughly the shape of a tree. Now I'm also going to run these trees further along. And then later on I'll just decide how much of those I want to show. I'll just keep that water in check with my tissue paper. I've lost a HAKE hair's come out there, so let's just try and get that off. There you go. I'll keep that in check because I just want the shape of the trees to show. And you know, in a misty morning you just get a rough idea through the mist, don't you? See what happened there? I just dropped a little bit of Payne's grey on my page. That was just an accident. So while it's wet you can just wash it off. Now while that's still damp like that, if you want to, let's just get some lemon yellow on my plate and some ultramarine blue, because we're going to use a heck of a lot of green in this picture, and of course blue and yellow make green, and then we mix other colours in and we get different shades of green. So the technique, just to, let's pull that a bit nearer, just to get the excess water off your hake before you do anything, and we'll just make up a very, very light green. Light as you like. And with it being summer, we've got lots of green happening. Maybe we could have all sorts of different shapes in the distance. Okay, so that's our distant wash. And what I want to do now is let that dry. So I'll turn off, I'll come back in about 10-15 minutes.